You're about to learn something that changes how you see your own life. Welcome to Doodle Breakdown. You're sitting in a meeting. Someone across the table yawns. 3 seconds later, you yawn too. You didn't choose it. Your brain just copied a stranger's mouth like it was following orders. You probably think it's about being tired or bored or short on oxygen. But the real answer is far stranger. Your yawn is not a tiredness signal. It's not even mainly about your lungs. It's a message written by evolution, running quietly in the background of your skull, and it's older than language itself. Start with the version everyone believes. You yawn because your blood oxygen is low, and your body needs a big gulp of air to fix it. It sounds logical. It's also wrong. In 1987, researcher Robert Provine ran an experiment that should have ended this myth for good. He had participants breathe air with extra oxygen, and other groups breathe air with extra carbon dioxide. If the oxygen theory were true, the gas mixture should have changed how often people yawned. It didn't. Yawn rates stayed almost exactly the same. Whatever a yawn is doing, it isn't fixing your blood chemistry. So what is it doing? Here's where it gets strange. Psychologist Andrew Gallup spent years studying yawning in animals and humans, and he landed on something called the brain cooling hypothesis. Your brain runs hot like a small engine. When you yawn, the deep stretch of your jaw increases blood flow to your face and skull. Cool air rushes into your sinuses. Some of that air passes close to blood vessels feeding your brain. The result is a tiny drop in brain temperature, almost like flipping on a fan for a few seconds. Gallup tested this by asking people to yawn while holding cold packs to their foreheads versus holding them nowhere at all. The group with the cold packs yawned less. Their brains were already cool. They didn't need the reset. Think about when you yawn the most. Right after waking up, when your brain is shifting out of sleep mode. Right before falling asleep, when your body temperature naturally rises before it drops for rest. During long, monotonous tasks, when your attention starts to drift and your brain needs a nudge back to alertness. Every one of those moments lines up with a brain that's overheating, slightly, quietly, and asking for a cool down. But brain temperature is only half the story. There's a second layer to this, and it's the part that should really unsettle you. Yawns are contagious. You already know this. You've felt it happen just reading the word yawn in this very sentence. Maybe you're yawning right now. That contagion isn't a coincidence, and it isn't a flaw in your wiring. Robert Provine found that people yawn more when they see another person yawn than when they simply read about yawning or think about it. Something about watching the act itself triggers the copy. And contagious yawning doesn't stop at your species. Chimpanzees yawn when they watch other chimpanzees yawn. Dogs yawn when they watch their owners yawn. Even in some birds, one animal's yawn can trigger a chain reaction through the group. Why would evolution build a reflex that spreads like a wave through a crowd? The leading answer connects yawning to something ancient and tactical: group synchronization. Picture early humans or the ancestors before them, resting together in the open. Danger doesn't announce itself on a schedule. A group that can shift from drowsy to alert together at the same moment has an edge over a group that wakes up one at a time. A yawn moving through a resting group may have worked like a silent alarm clock, syncing everyone's brain temperature and attention level so the whole group became sharp at once. You inherited that circuitry. It still fires today, even in a fluorescent-lit conference room where the only danger is a bad quarterly report. There's a piece of evidence that makes this even more personal. In 2007, researcher Atsushi Senju studied contagious yawning in children with autism spectrum disorder. Typically developing children caught yawns from others at high rates, just like adults do. Children with autism, who often process social cues differently, caught yawns far less often. The pattern suggested that contagious yawning isn't just a physical reflex. It's tangled up with social wiring, empathy circuits, and the brain's ability to mirror another person's state. Your yawn might be doing two jobs at once: cooling your brain, and quietly telling the people around you that you're tuned into them. Even before you were born, you were yawning. Ultrasound studies have shown fetuses yawning in the womb as early as the second trimester, long before there's any air to breathe or any tiredness to signal. That single fact should stop you in your tracks. A yawn that happens before your first breath can't be about oxygen. It can't even be about being awake or asleep in the way you understand those states now. It suggests the yawn is something closer to a maintenance program, installed early, running quietly for your entire life without asking your permission. So the next time you yawn in a meeting or on a long drive or scrolling your phone at midnight, you're not just tired. Your brain is quietly regulating its own temperature, the same way it has for millions of years, in bodies that came long before yours. And if someone across the room yawns and you catch it seconds later, you're not being rude. You're running one of the oldest group behaviors your species ever built, a silent signal passed mouth to mouth to keep an ancient group alert, awake, and together. You didn't choose that meeting yawn. It chose you, the same way it chose your ancestors, the same way it will choose the next person who reads this sentence. If this made you see something in your own life a little differently, that's the whole point. Hit subscribe if you want more of these, the strange, ancient reasons behind the things you do every day. And if a moment in this one stuck with you, drop it in the comments. It helps this channel more than you'd think.